Welcome to Paper Mache People, a podcast where if you feel like you don't belong anywhere in the world, you have found the right place. You are joined by my co-host Elaine and myself, Mishra. Coming up on today's show, we will take a journey down memory lane and discuss what it was like when we just moved abroad. From suddenly being accountable to only ourselves, to supermarket cashiers announcing every single item in our cart out loud, and adjusting to the sun still not setting at 10 p.m. But first, Elaine, what's up in the world today?
Recently, there's been a news report by the Pi Network, and they are saying that Malaysia has experienced a 26% rise in international student applications over the past 2 years.
Wow, that's a huge increase.
That is pretty big. It's not a surprise that the biggest share of students coming to Malaysia are from China, and followed by countries like Bangladesh, Indonesia, Pakistan, and India.
Okay, very interesting. Yeah, I guess the competition in China is so strong that if you don't make it to the top universities in China, it's better to leave the country to go to some foreign university that is well ranked.
And to follow up the student trend, job trends are also improving. So big companies like the semiconductor manufacturer Infineon, they are starting operations in Malaysia, out of all places, in Kedah.
Wow.
So
yeah,
they're investing 10 billion Aussie dollars
wow,
to
that's
build an
crazy.
industrial hub there. And they're going to need professionals. So, Nisha, when are you moving back?
Elaine, how did you end up in Tokyo?
So I didn't know when I was a teen that picking up Japanese for fun so that I can watch anime and listen to some J-pop would be such a life-changing experience.
Yeah.
Basically, when I joined my first company after graduation, they were just developing business in Japan. And coincidentally, I was the only person who had any sort of foundation in speaking Japanese.
Wow.
So I was just thrown into Japanese projects from the beginning. And my first day of work was actually a business meeting in Tokyo.
Wow.
Although I was working with a firm based in Malaysia.
Yes.
And over the years, I just got more and more involved, and I got sent here by the company, basically.
That's really cool. Yeah. So anime can change your life if you put in the effort to actually learn beyond. Gabate!
Exactly. What about you, Misha? What brought you to Europe and Zurich?
I left for my studies in Paris, and the French education system is a little bit more rigid. I wanted to learn more programming after studying biology. And in France, you can only continue with the path that you've already started in the bachelor's program. Whereas in Switzerland, I found a program that was more flexible, and they were bringing in students from biology, engineering, and computer science together to study neuroscience. And I thought that was really cool to have people from different backgrounds together, and you can learn from each other. And that's how I ended up in Zurich for my master's.
Do you remember how it was like when you first moved out of Malaysia?
Yeah, these memories are very vivid in my mind. I remember getting off the bus from the airport the first time I was in Paris to look for accommodation before the study started. And immediately, someone was trying to steal my phone as I was crossing the street.
Oh, no.
It was a typical scam where they kind of shove papers into your face and asking you to sign some petition. And while you are distracted, there's someone behind you reaching for your phone. So I was aware of this, and I was kind of refusing and trying to change my path. But they really completely surrounded me from all sides.
You're like fresh meat.
And
arriving from
Yeah,
abroad.
it's so terrible. I was so lucky that my dad was a little bit behind me and he saw this girl reaching out for my phone in my pocket and he pushed the girl aside and they kind of scattered afterwards.
Oh my
So
God.
my dad was my
Oh my
hero.
God. What a way to be invited to your new life.
Literally the first hour I was in Paris that happened.
Oh, geez.
So pickpocketing is unfortunately a big deal in a lot of these very touristy cities like Paris and Barcelona. Zurich is a much safer place. And the first time when I moved to Zurich, it was like a reverse culture shock where in the school libraries, you would see people leaving their fancy MacBooks on the desks
Yeah.
to book the seat while they go for lunch.
Yeah. You can do that in Japan as well, but not many
Yeah,
cities,
it's so
other cities
crazy.
out there. Yeah.
I was just astounded by this view of like a sea of MacBooks in an empty library.
But what were the other things that you experienced or struggled with in the beginning? Do you remember?
Yeah, coming back home after a day of like visits of school to an empty little shoebox is one of the saddest thing that I have felt.
Yes.
It's just this hollowness of it just gives you a sense of hollowness of like, oh, you are very far away from all your friends and family and people who care about you. And for me, it came in waves. Every month, there was a time when I would just kind of crumble. And it was a struggle also because I didn't want to make my parents worried at the time. So I didn't tell them.
Right.
In hindsight, maybe it would have been better to tell them. I don't know.
Oh, such a considerate child. But I experienced the same thing. Even if you like call your family, it's not really the same because they didn't see what you saw. They didn't experience. They're not living the same life, basically.
Yeah.
And sometimes they don't like fully understand your situation. And like you also said, you don't want to make them worried. Sometimes you had a bad day or something and you're feeling a bit upset. Once in a while it's fine to rant, but you don't want to be like looking sad every single day when you call your family. So it's tough, but hopefully over time you made some friends and had some roommates that help with that situation.
Yeah, definitely. It took some time, especially to adjust to a new language and making new friends when other people already had friends and they didn't really particularly care about making new friends. I think that was really hard.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about that in a separate episode about how do we make friends.
Yeah. Yeah, it is tough in the beginning, but did you have moments that you felt like, oh, I'm so happy that I actually made the decision to move abroad?
Definitely. I mean, there were moments in class when I had like a really good professor, when I was learning a lot that I was really happy. And one of the first months when I was shopping and I walked past the candy aisle and I was like, whoa, I can buy any of these things and nobody will know and nobody's stopping me and there are no real consequences. And that was one of the moments where it really hit me that I can do kind of anything. And it's really up to me to be responsible for myself. And while I think it's super exciting, it's also a little bit scary because if something bad happens, also
there's only you.
nobody's there.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Like you make the decisions, but you also live the consequences. I think that's like kind of like I don't know. You were quite young when you moved, because you moved as a university
Yes, I
student,
was.
right? I think
Mm-hmm.
I had the same experience, but I left home much later in my mid-20s.
Mm-hmm.
And prior to that, I was still living with my parents. And although I had my life, I had my job, and I paid them rent, and um,
Oh, wow.
yeah. So I was, in a sense, living an adult life. It was just that they live so close to my workplace, it didn't make sense to move out. And after a while, you just
Yeah.
grow complacent. And but I always felt a little bit smothered for some reason when I was living at
Mm-hmm.
home, that I could never fully express myself. I'm still like answerable to my
Yeah.
parents in certain ways, even though they I shouldn't really give so much of them.
Once a child, always a child,
Yeah.
even when you're 60 and they're
Yeah,
90.
exactly. And it's so hard to break out from that pattern, that dynamic
Mm-hmm.
basically. So when I moved away from home, I think, of course, I missed them a lot, and it was a difficult decision. I felt like I don't know, I was
Yeah.
abandoning them somehow. But I
Mm.
also experienced a lot of, um how would you say, growth. I
Yeah,
After
definitely.
I lived on my own, going through those lonely days and experiencing like different struggles and annoying things on your own, and having to figure it out on your own.
Paying bills.
Yes. Going to like city halls and all that boring stuff.
Oh no. Yes.
Yeah, so I think it was super valuable. And the best thing, I think, is like when I was living at home, I felt so much resentment. Well, it was
Mm.
because you're
Mm-hmm.
taking things for granted. You're like, oh my God, they're nagging at me so much. Oh my God, they're like um getting so involved in my life unnecessarily. But now that I live abroad, and I feel appreciative when they actually care about me.
Definitely.
So you
Yeah.
totally switch your
And also that they're doing so much work in the background that we didn't see
yes.
when we live with them,
Yeah.
right?
So I think actually living apart has improved my relationship with my family. And when we get
Oh,
together, we have a good time.
yeah, nice. Yeah, definitely. I appreciate my parents for what they do and what they have done for us.
Mm.
I mean, I've always appreciated them, but I guess I was more aware of all of the things that they did once I had to do them myself.
Yeah. um, but let's take it to a more upbeat note. Another thing that I experienced very differently was the outdoors in Japan.
Oh, yeah.
So in Malaysia,
Hmm.
I did go on like hikes with my parents. My father loves hiking, and he would drag me
Hmm.
any weekend that he possibly can. And I would
Oh,
be
wow.
so reluctant to go to some muddy, sweaty, mosquito-y jungle. And yeah, I think coming to a country like Japan where there's like 4 seasons, well, the summer is quite inhospitable, but in the other seasons, going outside into nature is something that I love so much because, first of all, it's safe, it's comfortable, it's very
Hmm.
beautiful. And I'm not saying this to put down Malaysia. After I left and I go back, I do appreciate the tropical jungle that also is very beautiful in itself, but you have to
Definitely.
be prepared for it.
Yeah. I feel like Malaysian jungle is like the hardcore stuff, like
Yeah.
if you are a true adventurer, that's where you go. And if you just want to stroll, then go to, I don't know, some Swedish countryside, some German forests.
Yeah.
But you're in for the action, it's a Malaysian jungle.
Yeah. I mean, in Sweden, when you go into the jungle during the summer, there's like blueberries on the ground that you can just pick and eat. And the the forest smells so good because it's like pine trees, and
Mm-hmm.
you see rabbits running around and deer sometimes. So it's like this totally storybook like experience.
Definitely, yeah. Also in the city, sometimes there are some scenes like when it's raining in the evening, and there's like the streets, the old town lit up, and it just looks like a scene from a storybook that I've read as a kid. And there are times like this when you're like just in awe of like, oh, these places are actually just how their surrounding looks like, and it's not this fantasy land
Yes.
that I grew up with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I mean, going abroad definitely has helped fulfill that. But it also has helped debunked like the eating bland food by a very beautiful lake. Cold sandwich.
Sandwich, bread and cheese.
And those angmos can be like, oh, I love Malaysia. I lived here for like 10, 15, 20 years and I come hiking every weekend. And they love the jungle. And that's because like, I don't know, growing
Yeah.
up, they had like this positive mindset about outdoor activities. Whereas in Malaysia, the stereotype is always like, ah, yeah, so hot. Don't go out, just stay at home or go to a shopping mall.
And one big difference is also that they are much more well equipped. And that makes a difference actually, right? They go hiking with boots. And if you have boots, according to you, the leeches don't really bite you because they can't climb up your boots.
Yes.
And that already makes a huge difference. Why are we wearing like some sneakers
Batas,
to the forest?
Yes. So, but I think that's improving. And in Malaysia, my friends have very advanced gear, but they are costly though. They are not cheap to
Yes, definitely.
to buy
They
like
are
a
not.
good pair of hiking boots.
Coming up next, rants.
No.
Communications wise, though, there were some weird moments that I experienced, especially when I first moved overseas. Something that I realized about Southeast Asians in general is that we like to smile and we're nice, we're warm and friendly. And I think this is quite like a big part of me of smiling a lot. And what I learned quite quickly is that people don't smile in Western Europe as much, and smiling has a meaning. And most of the time, if there's an interaction between a guy and girl, and if the girl smiles,
Oh no,
the guy actually takes it as they're interested in them more than whatever that interaction is.
Oh no,
it's really insane.
So
for me.
did a lot of guys think you had a crush on them?
Definitely there were people who did not know me who thought that I was flirting with them when I was just smiling, apparently. One of the times when I was also quite surprised by watching an interaction between someone who was telling a joke to a French person at the university, and she had the most like resting neutral face, and she was like, funny. And I was like, what do you mean?
Aww. But did she actually find it funny, or was she just being rude? I don't know.
I don't think she was being rude, actually. It was just a normal interaction.
Okay. Well, to be fair, I think in Japan, people don't laugh all that much either. Especially if you're not that close. And people don't like to look at each other in general. Just no eye contact.
Yeah.
So even though I must see thousands of people every single day just commuting to work and coming home in the train station and such, but I don't actually lock eyes with anyone. And I think maybe that's like it is quite tiring to lock eyes with too many people in a day. I guess when it's like a big city, you just go on your own path, and most of the time you're just trying to not get in someone's way.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize how this was a thing until I made like a trip to Australia on vacation to visit my sister. And I just noticed so many people looking me in the eye and just smiling and say, "Oh, how are you doing,
Oh,
love?"
wow.
Like, and everyone's just calling you love and darling. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so nice. I feel so welcomed.
Oh, yeah. Why don't people make places like this more?
Right.
I once overheard like a person on the street saying, telling a friend of theirs, yeah, there's this person yesterday, and they were smiling at me so much, and I was like, I don't know what you want from me.
Huh?
I was like, come on, nobody wants anything from you.
It's
We're
so
just
sad when
nice.
smiles are like treated with suspicion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
I mean,
it makes me sad.
to be honest,
but you know, I'm smiling anyway. I'm not changing anything about that. Like they have to deal with
yeah,
it.
exactly. But it's not like in Malaysia we smile a lot, do we?
I think it's just that we're more expressive
Yeah.
with our faces and like with nonverbal language.
Mhm.
Whereas over here, they focus much more on what you are saying
Yeah.
and how do you express it with words. And that's why eventually they forgot how to use their faces. Something that I was super annoyed though, still am, but less so, is supermarket opening times. And there was this time I remember very vividly. I was deciding to go down the street and go get my groceries for the week. And then I passed by the supermarket and I was like, wait, why is it closed? And I was just like, what is wrong? Why is it closed? It's like literally 10 a.m. Like there's no reason for it to be closed. And it hit me all of a sudden that it was a Sunday.
Dang.
And this whole Sunday thing has to stop, guys.
Work-life balance,
We
okay?
I mean, in some places, supermarkets close at 7. So if you work late, then
Right.
there's no chance of getting any food. And Sundays, the shops are closed. So there's only Saturday that's remaining. And Saturday is also the day where you want to do something fun because the shops are closed on Sunday. So you're not grocery shopping on Saturday. You're having fun outside. So when do you shop?
You need to buy bulk and stock up for a month, so you don't have to go.
Definitely,
to
online shopping has changed my life. Yeah.
So, and then it's like one day a year they close.
And then that's the day where you're like, I need this.
I actually did that. Like they put up signs like 1 month in advance. Like, oh, we'll be closed this one day, and I'm like, okay, sure. And then that day I showed up like, why is it not open today? But
1-star review on Google, shop closed.
Exactly. How am I supposed to get my fresh fish then? But one funny thing in Japan though is when I first came here and my Japanese was not that great because I never actually used it in daily life. I was only anime based. So turns out the cashiers don't talk like them. Oh, there was one supermarket that I experienced when I first moved here, and he was so enthusiastic. He would announce the entire contents of my basket.
Oh, wow.
It's like, okay.
It's a very good Japanese lesson.
Yeah, it is. But it's also a little bit like,
I know these are bananas.
Like,
Thank you.
1 banana. Okay. 1 box of eggs. Oh, 2 apples. Okay. 6 cans of beers. I'm like, don't announce how many beers I buy. And then
I wonder what would he do for more sensitive things that you buy in the supermarket.
Oh, you can't buy too sensitive things from the supermarket. If you're like buying sanitary pads or condoms or stuff like that, you get it from the pharmacist. And obviously they don't announce it and they put it in a paper bag. They will quickly wrap it in a bag. And I'm like, why?
Also, something in the supermarket that I wasn't used to was that you have to bag your own things. So their role was only to scan. And I felt the pressure of like stuffing all the things really quickly because the next customer was waiting for me. It was a huge relief when these like auto checkout
Right.
stations became more popular, because then I can bag my things at their own pace that I would do it anyway.
They don't have like bagging
rather
sections?
than being super rushed. No, they don't. So both the cashier and the next person staring at you while you put your stuff in your bag.
Oh, no.
I was like, no, I'm trying my best.
Okay. Over here, you have a bagging section, so you move your stuff to a different
Yeah,
section.
I think that makes so much more sense. Yeah.
So, what do you miss about Malaysia other than having a car to carry your groceries home?
I really miss the stable weather in Malaysia. Something that caught me off guard when I first moved overseas is the length of the days that change according to the season. And it really made me very disoriented, and I wasn't able to judge like what time it is, because 10 p.m. at night can look equally as bright as 5 p.m. And so the days just kind of stretched out super long, and I would be hungry and I didn't understand why. And then I was like, oh, it's actually like 9 p.m. And I was like, oh yeah, no wonder why you're hungry.
Yeah, I think in Malaysia there is a little bit of that. It's like whether the sun rises at 6:30 or 7:30, depending on the time of the year. But yeah, it's very, very minor difference. And I really miss having daylight until like 7 p.m. So in my head, when it's dark outside, it must be past 7 p.m. Even until today, I have that mindset. So during the winter months when it's dark outside at 4 or 3 p.m., I'm like, huh? Is it dinner time?
Yeah. And also like the fact that you can just leave home without ever worrying about, oh, do I need to wear a coat? Do I need to wear like, I don't know, leggings? Like just, you know that you can leave with whatever you're wearing at home.
Flip-flops
and
everywhere.
you don't have to. Yes. Flip-flop, shorts, t-shirt. So nice.
Yeah. Looking up weather forecast is like not a thing.
The number of times I check my weather app in a day is also not so healthy.
Yes. Same. I think when I like tap on my Google bar on my phone, it's always the top 3 is the weather.
So I was living in the Netherlands for 2 months, and they have the craziest weather app over there. Because it rains a lot and it rains really intermittently. They have this app that tells you if it's going to rain in the next like 5 minutes.
Wow.
So they have minute to minute prediction if the rain is coming, and you just leave your home or your workplace or wherever you are according to the app for that 10-minute window where you need to cycle from one place to another.
Wow.
You time it based on the app. Yeah,
my
it's
God.
really incredible.
But then they must really like section the area to like really small areas so that it can be accurate.
And it works really well.
Wow.
It does work really well.
Insane.
Stay tuned for today's trivia. For today's trivia, we are going to be talking about migration and the best cities to live in the world. So the first question is, according to The Economist, which of the following cities is the most livable in the world in 2025? Is it A, Vienna, B, Copenhagen, or C, Zurich?
Are you living in the best city in the world? Well, I will go with Vienna.
Vienna was the most livable city in the previous years, and this year it's in Copenhagen. Second related question, also according to The Economist, which is the most livable city outside of Europe? Is it A, Sydney, B, Osaka, or C, Melbourne?
Well, I must root for a Japanese city, right? So I'll say Osaka.
It's Melbourne. But Osaka is ranked quite high up there. Osaka is the next most livable city outside of Europe.
And that's behind. Is Tokyo not on the list?
Nope.
Blasphemous.
Yeah. Question number 3. Which country has the highest emigration in terms of percentage of its population? Is it A, India, B, Germany, C, China, or D, Malaysia?
Wow, got D some more. Since China and India has such large populations, I don't think it could be those. But could it be Malaysia?
You're right. Yes, it's Malaysia.
Wow.
Malaysia has 5% of its population emigrating out of the country. India and China have roughly about 1%, and Germany has 0.3% of its population leaving the country.
Wow, that's cool.
Question number 4. Rank the countries that Malaysians emigrate to the most from high to low. Singapore, UK, the US, Australia.
Singapore should be first, and Australia, and then I think it would be UK, then US.
You're right. Good job.
Wow.
Bonus question. Are there more men or more women emigrating from Malaysia?
I think it must be women.
One would think so, but there's roughly equal numbers of men and women emigrating from the country.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was also surprised by this. That's all we've got for you today. Thank you for listening. For sneak peeks into our lives abroad, or if you want to share your thoughts with us, connect with us on Instagram at papermache.people. And don't forget to hit follow on your favorite podcast app so you will never miss a new episode coming out every week. Bye!